In the last 24 hours, the total number of new asymptomatic patients is 9, and 0 are transferred to confirmed cases. 654 patients are still under medical observation. And now we'll give the floor to Mr. Li Tao to talk about the arrangement for the senior 3 students to return to school. Good afternoon. And people are very concerned with the students returning to school. And we have specific policies as to the arrangement of the schoolwork. For the graduate grades in high school students, including vocational schools, they will be returned to school on May the 6th, and the junior 3 will be returning to school as the second batch later. And we will make those dates available after careful evaluation. And the inauguration date for the other grades will also be announced soon. Currently, we have 94 high schools and 46 vocational schools. The total number of graduate students in senior 3 amounts to 32,000, and the total number of graduate students amounts to 21,000, and altogether combined, it's 57,000. And the general high school number of general high school amounts to 83, and the 38 vocational schools. And the schools are now preparing for the restart of the campus. We have a specific requirement: safety first, and targeted prevention control, and categorized management, and scientific arrangement. And insurance comes first. Safety first. We will put the safety and health of the students and the teachers in the first place. So we have a 3-step working policies under the guidance of the Education Bureau and the provincial government. To be more specific, we need to have contingency plan and the health screening process and health manuals, handout, temperatures, masks, and other logistics are prepared. Quarantine rooms are set up. Trainings were carried out, and the process were implemented. Accountability mechanisms were established. We also need to make plans and contingency plans ahead of time. After the approval of the commanding center for the COVID-19 prevention control, document was issued as to the arrangement for the reopening of schoolyard and campuses. 3, we will establish accountability mechanism. First, we would establish a school opening working team headed by the leaders from CDC, from Health Commission, and Education Bureaus. And together, they will be in charge of the reopening of schools. The Educational Bureau will be the team leader. Different regions would also have to act according to the instructions of the municipal government. Different departments, including security, education, and market supervision, would also have to participate in this joint prevention mechanism. The schools, the grades, classes are considered 3 levels of prevention control system, and the school leaders will be the first responder to any crisis happened in schools. In a special period of time, we also need to do the work in the following aspects well. First, strengthen guidance. The Education Bureau and the Health Commissions have jointly issued this manual on the prevention control of COVID-19, stressing the prevention and control in multiple aspects in order to safeguard the health of the teachers and students. These are very strict requirement for the schools and all the participants. It has to be implemented in a strict manner before and during the returning to campuses. Second, we have to organize this work for evaluation in campuses. In kindergartens and high schools, we would carry out this evaluation processes headed by the commanding center 1 week prior to the reopening of the schools. If it's not up to standard, we'll not allow it to reopen. And would strengthen the environmental check in the surrounding areas of the schools. No outsiders is permitted to enter the campus without justifiable causes. 3. Abundant preparation for medical equipment and materials. So each school needs to have PPEs that can last for about 2 weeks for all of the staff and students on campus. In public areas, disinfection and sterilization are important. 4. The sterilization and infection of the whole campus must be carried out. Before the reopening, a thorough cleaning and disinfection has to be carried out, especially in public places such as dorms and toilets, canteens, and playgrounds, classrooms. Every corner must be thoroughly cleaned and sterilized and disinfected, especially for those schools that are expropriated as quarantine spots. It has to be disinfected in a thorough manner before handing over to the administration. And this process has to be carried out across the entire spectrum of the school year. After returning of the students and the teachers, Senior 3 and Junior 3 students and teachers has to go through health checks before returning. We would also adjust the policies based on the latest updates. Prior to the teachers needs to be returned to school 2 to 3 weeks prior to the reopening. And the schools should take measures to avoid gathering at the gate of the school. For students who cannot return according to the school schedule, the school, due to some special causes, the school must exercise individualized study plan for the students. Prior to the reopening, all teachers and the students must stay home for 2 weeks. For students and teachers who are now outside the country, we do not advise them we do not allow them to go back for the moment. Six, we establish a special leading group to supervise over the work of the individual school. Medical staff were assigned to work at campuses to help the school with the handling of possible cases or other emergencies. 7. The school has to set up a temporary quarantine spot on campus so as to optimize this closed-circuit administration in school places. Drills would also need to carry out. Safety measures must be taken so as to prevent accidents from happening on the way to school. 8. Strengthen administration in terms of health condition of the teachers and students. Health codes are widely used. Monitoring systems were implemented and were put into place so as to gather the health information of the faculty and the students. We will stress that the students and teachers wear masks and avoid collective activities and limit the range for activities, for school activities. In the canteen, the students has to also keep their distance, and they have to sit at individual tables to avoid close contact. The psychological condition of the students, especially the children of the medical staff and patients, has to be attached importance to. These are special groups that we have to pay special attention. These are special groups that we have to pay attention to. Prior to the reopening, online courses will continue to be broadcasted to all the students so as to strengthen the guidance for students who are studying at home and help them to prepare for the reopening. The teachers would also have to carry out their responsibilities to educate the students about important content such as including the prevention control of COVID-19. And these work are important to help the students to transfer smoothly from online teaching to offline studying. The Senior 3 and Junior 3 students must prepare themselves for the important exams that is upcoming. Tenth, we will strengthen supervision of all the work that has been arranged. The Municipal Educational Bureau would allocate one special team to each region to carry out the inspection and in order to strengthen and follow the policies, the implementation of the policies. Now the floor is open to questions. With CMG and CCTV, this epidemic has a huge impact on the educational system of Wuhan City. So what are the countermeasures against this? In order to reduce the effect on our educational system, we continue to strengthen health education and make sure that all the schools and the faculty and students have a scientific understanding and measures to safeguard their own health. Health comes first, and this has to be internalized as their personal awareness, and patriotism must also be strengthened. Patriotic activities has to be combined with the battle against COVID-19 so as to strengthen their emotional recognition and strengthen patriotisms of the students. Online teaching is the measure we're taking right now. This kind of classroom on air is a great way to integrate the resources. And during this process, we have gathered important experiences as to cloud teaching. Although the school has not opened, the study has not stopped. On May the 6th, all the seniors, 3 students, will be returning to school, which marks a new beginning for the education plan of this year. After the normalization of prevention and control, we would do the work in the following 3 aspects well. First is to strengthen the connection to streamline the transformation from online to offline courses and help the students to readapt to school life. We would also help the students who have difficulties during this process to seek assistance through online and offline channels and guide them to return to schools as soon and normal paces of life as soon as they can. Second, we will strengthen psychological consultation for teachers and students. We would have a full knowledge of the psychological condition for the faculty and students and strengthen the consultation in this regard after the reopening. For faculty and students, especially those connected with medical workers and those people who have lost their relatives during this epidemic, would be our special subjects of attention. 3, we would coordinate and adjust the arrangement for high school entrance exam and college entrance exam. Currently, we have already made public the policies as to the college entrance exam, and the policies concerning high school entrance exam will also be made public soon. Thank you. With Guangming Daily. After the reopening, how do the schools guarantee the health condition for students, especially those who stay at school dorms? On May the 6th, 241 students in the senior 3 student will be returning to campus, among which there are 55 that are boarding school students. First, we have to do disinfection work well. We have hired special and professional teams to carry out a disinfection for 3 times. Second is a thorough screening. We have established this daily report and this report system so as to monitor closely the health condition of the faculty and students. We have to check all the students and teachers. All of the students and teachers have gone through the nucleic acid test. all of them have passed the test before returning. We would also organize training programs and on the prevention control as well as a contingency plan concerning the COVID-19. Drills have also been carried out so as to make sure that each of the faculty members are fully aware of our policy and operational procedures. Fourth, we have stocked up sufficient medical supplies and PPEs for the students. After the reopening, we will continue to do work in the following three aspects. First, to prevent the imported cases and collective cases. Early detection, early report, early quarantine, and early treatment are still our principles. Second, we would strengthen the disinfection of dormitories and canteens. Temperature checkpoints are set up, and clear signals are put up on campuses. And we will also guide the students to go to the canteens in different time slots so as to reduce the possibility of collective activities in these public places. We'd also have to streamline all of the orders and processes during teaching in schools. We have set up special mechanisms to do temperature checks 3 times a day and strengthen the ventilation and the disinfection in classrooms. With China News Agency, after reopening, the students have to go through nucleic acid test. What if the students' results have positive results in nucleic acid test? Before returning, the students have to go through nucleic acid test. If the result shows positive, and the students will be sent to quarantine spot for further diagnosis and treatment. In order to make sure that the students continue his studies even during the treatment, the students will take the courses online and will also strengthen psychological assistance to the students. With China Daily, after the reopening, how do we connect the online and offline teaching so as to minimize the impact on the quality of education? Thank you. First, we would connect the content of teaching between online and offline courses. We have done a teaching quality check before the returning to campus. the entrance exam is postponed by a month. We use that time to help the senior 3 students to have another round of knowledge point checks so as to better prepare the students for the entrance exams. We would also strengthen their educational capacity by adding one class hour each day, and we'll also have classes at weekends so as to make sure that the educational plan can be fulfilled and the targets can be accomplished. 3, we will strengthen psychological consultation to the senior 3 students. After the reopening, we will continue our work during our online teaching so as to make sure that all the students have a positive mindset and healthy mindset to participate in the entrance exam. We will guide the students so as to make sure that they are in a good psychological state and can adjust their psychological state in a timely manner and confirm their competence in the entrance exam. Last question.
我是湖北广播电视台融媒体新闻中心的
With Hubei TV.
延期开学导致中小学春季课时的不足，那么武汉市将会有哪些弥补措施？接下来的暑假
What are the policies to make up for the class hours that is lost during this epidemic? In order to make up for the lost class hours, we will strengthen our work in the following aspects. First, before the reopening of the schools, all the students are taking online courses at home so as to make sure that they are continuing with their study. Second, after the resuming of the classroom studies, we would extend daily class hours. So each week, the class hours will be extended, and the students will be studying in classroom for 6 days in a week, and will be studying one extra class hours each day, and the summer vacations will also be shortened. Thank you for the question, and also thanks to all the speakers.